Hello guys, this is Scorch Artist here. Well, Miles O'Brien, aka Scorch Artist. This is going to be the third video of my three-part video series of my sketchbook progression. This is senior year, other half of senior year to summer. This is my sketchbook currently, and that's the old sketchbook from my old videos if you remember that. But I'll get into that later. So I'm kind of excited about this video because these are my let me show you my face. These are my sketchbooks from, I guess, the times I actually wanted to start drawing. So these are points in time where I kind of thought, you know what, I can draw pretty all right. Might as well do it more often. So I'm gonna get started here. So first things first, try to start your sketchbooks with a really cool drawing. I know when I open up my sketchbook and I see a cool drawing, it inspires me to keep drawing. Try to start it with a nude figure to get you excited. You know, any type of nude figure will do. So, I hadn't drawn for a long time before this sketchbook, and that's kind of a common theme of my sketchbooks, but yeah. So I started off with a lot of sketching, and I remember being very surprised at how well I could sketch or how well I could draw after not having drawn for a long time. Neural pathways in your brain, they stay there. You know, you just gotta brush the dust off of them, and you can use them again. I'm gonna skip all this. There's a lot of junk in here for a lot of pages. There's a lot of nothing. All right, here we go. So a big tip is draw from life. If I'm gonna give you guys any tip for drawing, is draw from life. I was drawing from life a lot, as you can see. That's a guy at an airport, and when I would then draw comic book style things, I realized I could draw it a lot easier, and my mind was like, I was jogging my mind, you know, like, and then when I would draw things like this, where I would usually have problems with like perspective or angles of how things looked, it kind of just flowed out pretty smoothly, and it has to do with a lot of sketching and drawing figure a lot. Obviously, a lot of drawing too, if you've seen the other videos, which I will put up over there on the screen, but you definitely want to draw from life a lot because, you know, you can try to draw comic books, but honestly, if you're going to draw people in your comic book, it's better to just draw people in general, and then when you want to draw comic book people, it's going to be way easier. You're going to get a lot more realistic looking results. So my friend's characters, I drew them, but these are my friend's characters from his comic book. It's like a alien adventure type thing. Never actually went through with all of it because I kind of stopped drawing, and we weren't in the same class anymore, so we weren't able to talk about it or work on it really. We weren't really motivated. This is a character. Gonna use him in the future because he looks so cool. I ran out of ink to finish him, and I haven't gotten a marker like that yet. Definitely have to get a red marker. Actually, I think I have one now. Guess I'll have to finish coloring him. This is what his color scheme looks like. Very color wheely now that I look at it. And I didn't understand the color wheel when I first drew it, but I see it's in deep alignment with the color wheel. This is a character design. These are G-Pen practices. I hadn't used G-Pen in a very long time. Let me focus on that. Let me turn the light on. Ooh. All right. So I hadn't used a G-Pen in like 3 years. It was kind of just sitting in my art supplies. And I thought, let me dust it off and try something. It was a lot harder than I remembered. So I used it there, used it on some other stuff in the previous pages to outline some things I had done, and then I stopped because it was just too much work. But I use it now. So a car for school. There's like a class drawing thing. I drew a car, inked it later. Inking is just so gosh darn fun. Ooh. My friend Justin Ruffin drew this, as you can see by the Ruffin in the background. He's really nice at drawing. He doesn't have a YouTube channel or anything. He doesn't have a DeviantArt or anything either. But he is good at drawing, so there's that, right? Character designs. Big butts. On big butts. But more character designs. I drew a lot of really simple character designs in the sketchbook because I was coming up with concepts. Me and my friends are coming up with concepts. These are all the characters you see were concepts for a story. And I'd actually drawn a couple pages to a story in the other sketchbook over there. I'll show you guys. But it ended up being very similar. I really like this one because it was no pencil beforehand, so I thought that was pretty cool. I like the bird mask I did there. But yeah, so I had done the story, but it had ended up looking very similar to another story. So I decided to scrap it and not use it because it seemed like my subconscious mind was stealing stories. This is very cool because you can see where I hit resistance. Right? Resistance is that, you know what resistance is. You all know resistance if you're a comic book or any type of artist. You know, you get what I'd say 30% through a drawing, and then you hit that resistance wall right here, and then you just can't go any further. Yeah, so I like this drawing because it kind of shows me where I gave up and where not to give up in the future. A lot of trash, a lot of nothing. Figure drawings, nude. People say I gave her an ugly face. I disagree, but obviously it looks ugly if everybody else says so. So I guess she has an ugly face. She wasn't as hideous in person. She was sitting on an actual chair. That's ran out of time. This is a shapeshifter story concept. I actually really like this character design. You know, I think a lot about all the stories that could have been made, but hey, there's still time in life. Character concept. This character is in a drawing, previous video, and it will be on my. I'll link the drawing to my DeviantArt. Actually, I'll pull it down here, but yeah, girl with a big butt I saw on the street. Had to draw it. A lot of figure drawing because I was in high school. I went to an art high school, so in the art high school we did a lot of gesture sketches of each other. This was on Halloween. My friend dressed up as Slash. Yeah. Let's see. I have some note papers here to skip to semi-important areas. Oh yeah. So lots of figure drawing. Figure drawing is awesome because it's just like free practice. You know, which everything is free practice, but you don't. Not all the time you get a naked person to pose for you to draw, but when you can, it's awesome. This lady had a really cool panda hat that I didn't get to draw. Everything else is pretty cool though, and she had a nice chair too. I didn't get to draw. Alright. This is on my DeviantArt. Check that out. DeviantArt link in the description down below. Unfinished work. I did this on a plane. I may just have to finish this because it looks so nice, even though it's old, and yeah, I'll just have to finish that. I don't like seeing unfinished work of mine. It kind of irks me. My friend Pablo's awesome drawing of two gangsters shooting. I didn't draw it. Pablo drew it. But he draws very, very good. Very, very well. I don't know if proper English. And no pencils, too. Pretty impressive. Thought I should put that in there because it just looks so cool. Unfinished. And last but not least from this sketchbook is this drawing right here, which will be on my DeviantArt. Oh, it is already on my DeviantArt. It's on the mature. I put mature content on it, so, you know, you might have to lie about your age to see it on DeviantArt, because they're kind of strict about that for some reason, because his penis is out, that's why. Second half of senior year sketchbook. I filled this one basically up to the very end. I was kind of happy about that, because I was like, I have a lot of sketchbooks where they're just a lot of empty pages, and, you know, that doesn't show commitment. Here's a pro tip number one. I'm not a pro, but, you know, pro tip number one. Every pro should know this. Start your sketchbook off with a really cool drawing, because it gives a good first impression when random strangers look at it, right? Even though I didn't finish it because I ran out of ink. But this is a hog on a hog. He's riding a motorcycle, obviously. When I get this marker, I'm going to finish it. This is really all I have left to do. And a gun. But yeah, this is on my DeviantArt. Oh wait, no, it's not. No, it's not. It's not gonna be on my DeviantArt. I have to finish it first. Here's a cool motorcycle. This is from the manga artist Jiraiya. Check him out. It's mature content, though, his work. So if you're young and you don't like your parents nagging at you, don't check him out. This is something I did with a brush pen. Oops. So I did this with a brush pen. I was really proud of it because I got really thin lines. I don't know if you can see those. I'm just going to go in really close. But yeah, it was a very fun. I highly recommend using a brush pen because it's easy to use a G pen. Not really easy, but you can get used to it. And it's easy to use a Micron just because it's really easy if you get used to it. But brushes are like, you know, even if you're used to a G pen and used to a Micron, it's like a whole new field. You get a whole new feeling, and you get different, like, you know, line weights and stuff like that. These are all done with the brush pen too. It's also very fun to use, you know, because you get to feather, and it's just peaceful to use. Here's a piece. This is a commitment piece. So I started this just to see if I could finish it. That's really all it was. I wanted to see if I can get from point A, this guy, to point B. This last piece of grass here, and it was successful. All I have left to do with this is scan it when I get a big enough scanner, when I find one, and color it on Photoshop, and then color it in person, or not color it in physically too. But I want to scan it first. Crazy drawings from my friends. I have to scan this. So I don't know if you guys can see the progression, but I feel like I've progressed from the first sketchbook. And I have a sketchbook right here. I will show you my progression. But I feel like I've progressed. And I don't know if you guys will notice, the more sketches I have in my sketchbook, the more progression you can see. So it goes to show practice makes permanent. You know, the more you do it, you'll see at the end of this sketchbook, the easier it gets. So just continuously do it, and you'll find yourself getting better at it. I've had trouble with committing to it too. You guys definitely will, unless you're awesome, then you won't. But plenty of awesome people have trouble committing to things too. But things really do work out when you commit to them all the way through, because you're going to hit periods of doubt, which are going to suck at your blood like vampires. But then you're going to get through because you're tough. Character design, it's that guy that's up there on the wall. He doesn't wear pants because he's crazy and has a TV head. This was a character design for a story that I didn't want to continue with because it seemed like another story. But I might use a character design again. This is I'm not sure what this is actually. This is just a random drawing I wanted to work on, just to see where my skills were at. It's not really anything too crazy because it's just like a human being shape. It wasn't anything too absurd. But the chains. So a lot of people draw chains, and it's like this. This like circle around a circle, then like a line, and like a circle and a line and a circle and a line, but like thicker, because they make it look kind of real. And I drew chains like that for a very, very long time. But when I was making this, I came to the sudden realization that's not how chains look at all. They don't look like this, and then 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 this. That just looks kind of cartoony, and it kind of takes away from the realism of your work and the impact the chains will make. Because if chains look like that, it looks kind of stupid. It looks kind of fake. Because chains have angles too. And here it was really fun because I realized that chains aren't just like that. So I put a lot of different angles. These are kind of, like right here. You know, I try to angle the chains and stuff like that. Typical chains look more like this. Realistic chains look more like, I'd say that, typical chain angle, realistic chain angle, or over, no. Yeah, you get the picture though. So yeah, just another tip. Chains, even though they might be awkward to draw, just kind of figure out the angles of them, because they are three-dimensional things. And they'll look way more realistic when you view them as three-dimensional. This is when I couldn't draw girls. Still can't draw girls too well. But I have been practicing a lot more now, so. See, I drew a bunch of girls. drew a bunch of girls, drew a bunch of girls. I was able to draw girls, so that was pretty fun. This was my practice at drawing an actual girl from memory. I think it came out okay. From not from memory, from my imagination. It came out all right, I'd say, for having not drawn a girl for literally years. Random thing. Random character design. A story about a man smacking a fly. Try to practice with the G pen. I don't know if you guys can see that. Oops. Alright, well, it's pretty fuzzy lines. The lines themselves are kind of shaky. But I've been doing other things in my G pen. I've been doing this comic book recreation of pages. And I suggest doing that too. Basically just like recreating some comic book pages that you really like. Because it's lots of good practice. And you kind of get into the mind of the artist that you like. Which I don't know if you want to do that, but I suggest you do. Because, if you admire somebody's work and you want to have your work be on their level, it's good to kind of understand how they went through it. And put yourself through that same sort of process to understand it. Here is characters. Life drawing thingy from a book. Michael Jackson with diamond eyeballs. Actually, I think I should put this on DeviantArt. These will be on DeviantArt too. Psh. Random tattoo design thingies. Superman. Alright, so here's what I actually kind of want to show you guys. This is my practice comic. Nothing serious, just to practice and see where my skill's at. So this was like a comic, so I could really try to do something. So I really tried to make this as nice as I could with my skill level at this point in time, which was a couple months ago. So I could then look at it and see all my errors. And I highly suggest doing this. Like, do this, like start doing this. Make a comic where you are at right now. It could be a 5-page comic. Mine is like 10 pages. And I was going to continue, but I didn't want to continue it because there's no point. But, make like a 5 to 10 page comic and see where your skills are at currently. And just really look at it and compare it to some work you really like. It's about a man who beats himself up. This is on DeviantArt if you want to check that out in more detail. But really look at it after you do it and gauge where your skill set is compared to what you want it to be. So when I recently got Akira, the comic book by Otomo Katsuhiro Kiro, and his work is crazy. And I can look at that and go, okay, so I'm at this right now. This is where I want to be, and this is the bridge I need to cross to get there. But at least you get kind of a realistic view of where you're at, and you might realize, holy shit, I suck, and this guy's real, and I don't think I'll ever be on that level. You shouldn't think like that though, but you might. I thought like that, and then you'll get to the end of your whatever how many pages. And you'll have a realistic view and realize that everybody starts like that. Even Katsuhiro Otomo was once trash at drawing. But currently he is not, I presume. And it took time and effort. And you doing the 5-page comic is you putting in time and effort to get good. So it's like, you can't get one without the other. So I suggest doing it. No, just do it. Just do it. I'm going to kind of go through these kind of slowly so you can just see what's on them. Something I did realize is that I didn't really keep the faces consistent. That was a problem with mine a lot, is keeping characters' faces very consistent. His face is easy to keep consistent because he's bald-headed and he wears goggles. But this kid had a hard face to keep consistent. His name is Mars. These were all done with Micron, no G Pen or anything like that. I didn't really, wasn't thinking about using a G Pen at this point. That's really it for the sketchbook. Oh, 20 minutes and I finished 2 sketchbooks. That's good enough, I guess. I realized that I had lots of perspective issues. Realized that after the fact. And that's really it for the sketchbook. And that's it. Done with the sketchbook. That's where are we at now? 2 sketchbooks to go. This sketchbook is the OG sketchbook from 2009 or 2008. I don't remember. When I first made a YouTube channel. Those videos have long since been deleted, but I still have the drawings and stuff. So I'm going to go flip through some of the things I have. This is Ken Saigakin, half demon guy. His face is very, very chubby. Let's see. Copic marker. First time using the Copic markers. So I'm gonna show you a little bit of progression we have going on here. This is my first time ever touching Copic markers. Right? This was a couple months ago. Copic markers. So this is first time ever to a couple months ago. It's been 5 years, I guess, and I didn't really draw that much in those 5 years. I mean, I got on this, level, I guess, from having drawn, relatively, not often, I wouldn't say, but I would draw sometimes within those 5 years. But I definitely started practicing a lot more, and that's how I was able to make that coloring of that pig look pretty nice. But basically what I'm trying to say is that I didn't draw a lot, and I was able to do that. And so what I'm saying is you should practice a lot, because if I had practiced a lot more, I would say that I would be a lot better than that if I made full use of my time. So make full use of your time, because your time is very very useful, I guess. It's kind of a redundant thing to say, my bad. So this is the Breed. Guys, this is the Breed comic. This is the first comic I showcased on YouTube. Ken Saigakin. I'm gonna flip through it real quick. I stopped this comic because I spilled ink on a page. It's about these phantoms who protected the planet. One of them turned away. This guy, obviously. He's literally turned away. Wanted to fight them to see how strong they really were. How strong he really was, actually. And they ended up destroying a lot of innocent people. And the person who created them ended up branding them with shame, this mark of shame, which are these 2 marks. They're like teardrops, basically. I really like how I did this comic. I'm actually pretty proud of this. Because, not because the artwork is so great or anything, but because I was really using my imagination a lot. And in using my imagination a lot, I kind of got a lot of ideas out that I made it look very nice, I guess. I got a lot of ideas out of my head. And I was able to portray them pretty accurately to what I wanted to portray them as. So I did something pretty cool with this. I took the last page I have here. There's nothing else in the sketchbook but like graffiti. I took the last page I have here, which is this page from the Breed. It's Ken. He all of a sudden gets very angry, and he tries to shoot this kid who's his friend. And, well, let me sidetrack for a second. This is going to be my cool drawing here. I haven't finished it yet, but it's going to be the cool one. It's going to color it, make it look all nice. Alright, so I did something pretty cool is I decided to redraw this page to see where I was at currently compared to where I was at then. And as you can see, the juxtaposition, here's the past. Here's the present. So tell me what you think, guys. Do you like it? Do you hate it? Do you think I still suck? I'd like to know. This is a comic about a doctor. So here I was practicing panel styles. As you can see, these are 4 equal panels. When you draw 4 equal panels like this, or any page that has equal size panels, the intensity is focused mainly on the artwork. The artwork has to bring the intensity to the page, not the way they read, not the way the panels are shaped. It's just the artwork itself that brings the intensity. As opposed to here, I can paste things through the panels and bring intensity to certain moments through how they look. When here, I have to really focus on the art to give the reader a certain type of feeling, which I really like doing that. It was a very fun exercise. I'll be making exercises and things like that when I get a camera, but I'll be going more in depth with certain videos and making them a lot nicer. But as of now, I only have this phone, so this is what you guys got to deal with real quick. So it's about a hospital patient who's dying. Oh geez, my legs are losing blood. This is a drawing of my girlfriend. Oh geez, okay. It's like a war going on back there. So here's where I am, where I was a month ago. And I say where I was because I didn't put any shading on anybody. I certainly would have put shading. I certainly now would put shading on somebody, on these characters. And I guess I still can put shading on these characters. But I haven't had the time to stop and do that. But yes, so this is where I was at a month ago. I basically am still at this particular stage in my art. Except now I would put shading on the characters. And hatching and stuff like that. I learned that makes characters look cool. This is a page of Opus. I did this to test out my Manga Studio screen tones. So I scanned this in and screen toned it on Manga Studio. And this began my my venture down the 100-page Bakuman challenge. So in Bakuman, there's a certain challenge that Moritaka, he's not really challenging himself, but he gets rejected and he decides that he's going to make 100 pages of shonen manga to get real good at drawing and then get a series in the magazine. And so he gets 100. He starts to draw 100 of his favorite pages from his favorite shonen manga. And those are kind of irrelevant pages. These are all just drawings of girls. I can't draw girls that well. Yeah. So he does 100 pages. And I'm like, yeah, that's a really good idea. You know, if you want to get good at something and get good fast and learn all the things that you're having problems with, learn how to get better at them, just really immerse yourself in it. So after doing those 2 pages that you saw, I decided to do 100 pages, and currently I'm at 40 pages. I haven't screen toned 20 of those 40 pages. I'm doing 20 pages screen tone, then 20 pages screen tone. I haven't even inked this. That's crazy. But yeah, I'm currently at 40 out of 100. It's been around a month and 2 weeks. I'm gonna try to make this video around 30 minutes. It's not really a whole lot in the sketchbook anyway. So this is where I'm at now, basically. And now when I kind of started drawing, even if I don't like it, like I didn't really like this one, I'm like, let me just finish drawing some part of it to make it look like something, as opposed to stopping halfway through, you know. And even if it doesn't look nice, I'm like, okay, well, if it doesn't look nice, at least I finished what didn't look nice, as opposed to just giving up halfway through. It's just like a cityscape kind of thing I wanted to attempt. A lot of details in there, and a lot of like corners cut in there too, theoretically, and literally corners were not drawn in. This is me getting good at mouths. I realized I couldn't draw mouths that good or that well. Vagabond page. I'm just gonna kind of skip through this stuff. So my approach to art is, if you're not good at it, just draw it a bunch of times and you will be good at it, which is really a good approach to anything. Just do it a bunch of times and you're just going to learn, because that's how human minds work. So I'll be making a more in-depth video of my art process. I'm going to get a camera on Black Friday, and I have a tripod, and I'll be able to make an actual video on my art process and how I draw. But until then, this is where I'm at, and if you stayed along for the 31 minutes, you're a real trooper. But I'll have shorter videos in the future. And tell me what you think, guys. Tell me about what you've been struggling with in your art along your way. And if you had any similar issues, like I had an issue of stopping a lot. You know, like if you had the same issues, I'd love to hear about it, because I hope I'm not the only person that did that. So this is Scorch Artist, and please comment, like, favorite, subscribe. Peace.